Hi, we have Dr. Amrish with us today, who is an expert with algae, and he'll be here to answer few of our questions. So, hello, Dr. Amrish. Could you tell us a little about your research and your current work that you're doing?
I have worked on yeast for past 8 years in the course of my master's and PhD. After completing my PhD, I moved to IIT Bombay to work on cyanobacteria and which are also known as rosine algae
Okay.
to engineer them to produce biofuels.
Okay.
I mostly deal with molecular biology aspects of these organisms to enhance their capacity to produce more biofuels and other derivatives of commercial interest.
Okay. So, since you work with algae, why and how do you think that algae can be key in solving the global food crisis by 2050?
The most important feature which makes algae very attractive hosts or a very attractive platform are their ability to grow without any organic carbon substrate. In biological terms or in bioprocess engineering terms, this is called third generation bioprocess. Where in first generation we have a microbe which converts a food substrate, a food as in a food which is edible by animals and humans, converted to a product of our value. In second generation, we have organisms which convert non-food based sugars like cellulose and lignin to the compounds of our interest. In third generation biorefinery, what we do is we engineer photosynthetic organisms to convert CO2 directly from atmosphere to the product of our interest. This has twofold effect. A, it helps us deal with increasing CO2 levels and hence global climate change. And two, we don't have to compete with total available arable land, which since the population of the world is growing is needed for agricultural purposes. Hence, we can use the available land to produce food for humans and animals, as well as use non-arable areas like seawater to produce the compounds or chemicals which we are able to do. Hence, it's quite promising platform in long run.
Okay. But I gather that there might be an issue with the scalability and acceptability of such an alternative food source. So, how do you think the things would change in the future with respect to algae being an acceptable alternative food source?
The problems of this particular third generation technology is that we still are in our infancy phase of technology development. Algae and cyanobacteria being able to, the organisms grow on an environment which requires a lot of water. So from engineering perspective, it becomes problem to deal with amounts of water which we talk about. For example, if we want to make a bioethanol plant with algae as a fermenting organism instead of yeast, we will have to deal with scales of 10,000 liters or 1 lakh liters, which subsequently in downstream processing becomes problem of how to deal with that much volume, how to separate biomass from the aqueous solution. But in my opinion, these are engineering problems and not biochemical problems, and there are easier ways which are being found out by researchers all over the world to deal with this technology, because the payoff which eventually this system provides, that is removal of CO2 from atmosphere and rescuing of arable land to let it produce agriculture, are too huge to be neglected. Hence the focus of the intelligentsia all over the world is towards solving this problem and making the third generation bioproduct.
So, particularly with algae in perspective as a solution to this global food crisis, what could be the major limitations that we as a team of idea generators might face?
The limitations which this particular biological platform poses are twofold. One, the growth rate of these particular organisms are quite lower, as in they grow much slower as compared to normal bacteria and normal yeast, which makes it imperative that if you are an industry which are running a plant to produce something valuable from algae, you have to keep the plant running for longer duration of time, which means higher operational costs. Secondly, I have to reiterate the point which I had in my previous question, the amount of scales.
Right.
And third, and one more thing which I just thought about, most of the products which are produced by these organisms are intracellular, as opposed to ethanol from yeast which are secreted outside. Uh, Harvesting the cells from watery solution and breaking them open are immensely expensive processes from engineering perspective, and those until science is able to find a way around this problem, this particular idea won't be commercially popular among investors and industry. But as I said, since the payoff of this particular platform is so high and the population of the world is increasing at the rate which is quite frankly unmanageable, we will have to find a way to produce more calories to feed all the human beings and animals by whichever way possible. We have almost reached the maxima of utilization of land for producing food. We will have to look towards water bodies and particularly oceans, which comprise 70% of Earth's surface, and that surface is free for utilization if only we reach and engineer an organism which can grow in saline conditions in marine environment and produce either food or chemicals of our interest from that surface which is until now unutilized. So in long term, if you're targeting at 2050, it is I am very optimistic that we will have found a way around these problems by then, and this will be a successful biorefinery and deployed all over the world.
Thank you, Ambrish, for your valuable inputs.
Thanks, Gaurav.
Thank you so much.
It's coming.